A familiar name has signed with the Arizona Coyotes organization. I'm going to talk about that on this special afternoon episode of Locked On Coyotes.
Your Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special afternoon episode of Locked On Coyotes. I am your host, Carl Pavlock. Just going to be me for this one, but we have some breaking news that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to do that, and you can't stop me. The Arizona Coyotes made a signing today. They have signed forward Josh Doan to a 3-year entry-level contract. Unfortunately, we do not have the details of the deal yet. Guessing it's going to be a standard ELC, normal stuff. Not really too big of a thing, but definitely key. The Coyotes initially drafted Doan 37th overall in the second round of the 2021 NHL Entry Draft, and he has been playing with my alma mater, Arizona State University. He's actually was the captain for ASU, which is just tremendous improvement from a player who wasn't drafted in his initial year of eligibility. Josh Doan is a player who I, of course, have kept my eye on. How can a Coyotes fan not keep an eye on a Doan? But he is a player who has earned his way here. He has, you know, he wasn't drafted. He came back, earned a spot, earned a draft position, earned ice time with the Sun Devils. Seems like he was doing everything he could with that organization, and signed an ELC. He's 21 years old, which means he was eligible to sign a 3-year deal, which is good. He will be reporting to Tucson and spending the rest of the season there. Maybe gets a call up at the end of the year. There's still plenty of games. I did just see earlier today that Coach Bear is going to be having Ivan Prosvetov off for the rest of the season just to kind of evaluate him. Maybe Doan gets a cup of coffee, as they say. Who knows? But for right now, going to be playing with the Tucson Roadrunners, which is a good spot for him. As a Sun Devil, he never got to play against U of A, which is kind of a shame. It's definitely, the rivalry is a mark of excitement for a lot of people. U of A does not currently have a NCAA program. Hopefully they do soon once they get that new ice facility in there, but that's neither here nor there. And he's going to get his start right away. His first game, his professional debut, is going to be tomorrow, Friday the 17th, which is just great. Give him some ice time. Let's see what he can do, especially against a, tougher competition. I do think that the NCAA is a phenomenal program. I think it's producing some great athletes. I think it has grown in respect leaps and bounds from when I first started talking about hockey, but there is still a jump in quality from the best NCAA team to an AHL team. Like, that is just another level of competition. You're not only playing against more skilled players, you're playing against older players, more physically developed players, and they have a chance to, take advantage of a young college kid who, thought he could get away with something in the NCAA. Turns out they're not going to let you do that in the AC or in the AHL. Sorry, mixing up my acronyms right now. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that some more. Talk about kind of how I was wrong about Doan on this next segment. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. And that is a message from our friends at FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download the FanDuel app. It's America's #1 sportsbook, and because new customers get a no sweat first bet of up to $1,000, that's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sports app. It's safe, secure, easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to point scores and threes drained. Although maybe you want to do something different. We're talking about Doan. Maybe you want to bet on the Roadrunners game coming up. I It's in Arizona. I'm sure that is an option. If not, bet on the Coyotes game later today. Plus, FanDuel lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no sweat first bet of up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to fanduel.com/lockedon. That's fanduel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And we're back. Carl Pavlock, Locked On Coyotes, talking about the Doan deal. Doan deal. Just love saying that. I initially thought that Doan was going to be spending at least his junior year in the NCAA. I'm sure if you go back to older episodes, when we're talking about prospects, I said as much. Heck, I even thought he may go for his senior year. I was never really sure kind of what his development path was going to be. I thought he was going to be a player who would want to take as much, advantage of the, NCAA program as he could before moving on to the pros. It seemed to me like, players who decide to go to NCAA for 1 year, your Clayton Kellers, potentially your Logan Coolies. We'll talk about that once it's official, but that's rumored to be the case. I don't know too many players who have done a 2-year NCAA stint. I'm sure it happens. Just none are coming to mind. I'm not sure if I can think of any Coyotes players who are that way. The Coyotes, of course, have 2 NCAA program players in their program in Jack McBain and Nate Smith. They, went the full years, graduated, came upcoming UFAs. Coyotes acquired their rights. I didn't think there was going to be that case where the Coyotes were going to need to worry about signing Doan. I think he would want to play with a team that I'm sure he has a lot of memories of. But you never know. Like, at the end of the day, it is a business, and you got to make business decisions. But I like the fact that he is, comfortable with this risk. He thinks that his game can only improve at the next level. That is something that I am very impressed by. When you see where you're at, you talk to your coach, you talk to your trainer, you talk to your agent, you talk to GM Bill Armstrong, you talk to, I'm sure, all the Roadrunner staff, and you're just like, hey, I want to take the next step. And they say the next step is going pro and having the courage to do that. Because it's, it's a big leap, as I said. And all the respect in the world to Josh Doan for making that leap. I do think that this is going to be, an interesting player to watch. I am not sure what Doan's position is going to be with the Coyotes in the future. Right now, I have him pegged as kind of a bottom 6 forward. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to kind of see him have an offensive flurry, but didn't necessarily see that from his NCAA numbers, and just doesn't seem like that is necessarily where he's going to be. But players evolve their game all the time. Players take that next step. So I'm really open to kind of whatever he can do. And, I will definitely be paying a lot more attention to the Tucson Roadrunners for the rest of the season, just to kind of see how he's progressing. Like his first pro point, his first uh, AC or AHL goal, all of that. It's going to be big. I know a lot of Coyotes fans, especially, have a love for the Doan family because of Shane, and I think that Josh has a chance to do a lot. He has a chance to be a part of this franchise, and he's coming in at a good time. Like the team is going to be like looking for talent. If he can take that chance, earn a spot, I think he would be the second player as of right now to make the leap from ASU to the NHL. That'd be great. I would love that. But that's all we had for this one. Like I said, short special episode talking about Josh Doan making the leap. Hope you like what you heard. Hope you're going to be paying attention to Doan. Otherwise, stay safe out there and don't forget to howl on.